Morning, it's Mike Montgomery in the study. It's February 28, 2017. Reading for you in Ephesians chapter 14. Wherefore he saith, Awake thou that sleepeth, arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light. Seeing then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. He challenges us here again to redeem the time. He said, those of you who are asleep, wake up. And so just as a wake-up call this morning, if you're a Christian, and you have been saying, I need to get back to soul winning. I need to get back to reading my Bible. I need to get back to prayer. I need to get back to church. I need to get back to whatever ministry. Maybe you used to work in children's ministry and you've let it go. And you say, I need to get back to doing that. Whatever it is that you need to get back to doing, today is the day to do it. It's now is the time. It's redeeming the time in the moment. The days are evil. There's important things to do. We have to live intentionally. And we can't say, well, I'm going to get around to it someday. If you're a lost person, and you've heard the gospel before, you know the facts of the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. You know you're a sinner, and yet you've never come to saving faith in Christ. Today is the day of salvation. Don't put it off. Don't say, well, I got plenty of time to get this done. I can go on. No, redeem the time now. Purchase it back to yourself. Grasp the moment. It's literally the Christian version of seize the day. And that's what we're called to do in this moment. Live intentionally and do what God's called us to do in the moment. Satan called his four top group of people, demons, together. And he said, I need to find out a lie that will convince people not to believe. I need to find a lie that will convince people to turn their back on the truth. And one raised his hand. He said, I've got the best lie. And he said, let's convince them there's no God. And he said, well, that may work on some. He said, but the reality of the fact, most people believe there is God. And he said, well, give me something better. And somebody raised their hand and said, I know, we'll tell them there's no heaven. And he said, that's not going to work either. He said, because there's something in the heart of men that know there has to be something better than this. And so the third demon raises his hand. He said, I've got the answer. I know what it is. He said, I'll tell them there's no hell. And he goes, well, they know there's a hell. There's got to be a judgment for those that do wrong. And he said, I don't think these lies are going to work. What is the lie we could tell them that would convince them to turn their back on the truth? What lie can we do that would blind the most people? And one demon shot his hand up. He said, I know what it is. We can't tell them there's no God. We can't tell them there's no heaven. We can't tell them there's no hell. But we can tell them there's no hurry. And that is the greatest lie that cripples the most Christians and cripples and sends the most lost people to a Christless hell because they're convinced there's no hurry. Let me say today, you have a responsibility to seize the moment, to obey God in the presence, to do the work He's called you to do. May God bless you today as you go about doing that work. And we'll see you tomorrow morning in this study. God bless.